So I don't know what it is with this administration in Canada, but it seems like they want to completely destroy our trade with every nation that they interact with. Like, just recently, Saudi Arabia came out and made a statement and saying that they're going to freeze all trade with Canada because Christine Freeland decided to come out and speak about this, I don't know, Saudi Arabian blogger that has been jailed recently. And so there's this girl, what's her name? Samar Badawi, the sister of a jailed dissident blogger, Raif Badawi, who was arrested in Saudi Arabia. So these are both Saudi Arabians who were jailed because, they're speaking out against their country, right? These are not even Canadians. And the only tie that these people have to Canada is the Samar Badawi's sister recently became a Canadian citizen like last year. So now, since now she's a new Canadian, we have to fight on her behalf, destroy our trade with Saudi Arabia, which there was like a contract a little while ago to build this armored vehicle that was worth like, I don't know, something like 10 or 11 billion dollars. Like, we're making decent money with them, and I don't agree with everything Saudi Arabia does or anything like that, but completely eradicating our trade that quickly is very stupid. It's like, if you are going to you don't like the way that they do things in their country, you slowly find a new market and you slowly move away from that market. But if you go and insult them like crazy and shit and try to interfere into their politics, then they're going to retaliate, just like what they did, because Christine Freeland, she came out and she's like very alarmed to learn that Samar Badawi, Raif Badawi's sister, has been imprisoned in Saudi Arabia. Canada stands together with the Badawi family in this difficult time. See, so they're not Canadians, right? So she has to say the Badawi family. And we continue to strongly call for the release of both Raif and Samar. So, they're so adamant to get the release of these people who are not even our own. And, the funny thing is there is another girl, what is her name? Monica. It is Monica Schaefer. She is currently on trial in Germany right now, and she is a Canadian citizen. She grew up in Canada her entire life. Her family immigrated to Canada in the 1950s, and she is now facing like 5 years because she released a video in Canada. They're claiming that it was released in Germany, but that doesn't even matter. That they're trying to put her away for 5 years for denying the Holocaust. But Christina Freeland, she doesn't come out and say anything about that, right? Nobody's going to come out and say, we need to get her out, right? There is this group in Ontario that is trying to push the government right now to get them to, push for the release, but the government has been silent about it. They would much rather virtue signal for the release of these people who are not even Canadian citizens and ignore actual Canadian citizens that are being persecuted in other countries like Germany because of their draconian anti-free speech laws. But, they're not going to say anything about that. So it's like, like I said, they're going to ruin our trade with Saudi Arabia. They've already ruined the trade with India, bringing a guy who was like an ex-Sikh terrorist who was, I think, like convicted of attempted murder and all this shit. Like, they're bringing this guy with them, taking pictures with them. Like, people get mad at Trump when he says nice things about Kim Jong-un and stuff, but this is how you deal with these foreign dictators, with these governments. You don't do what Trudeau is doing, right? You don't come out and speak out like retard, and just all they're really doing this for is virtue signaling. But look at what it's costing us, and now they're all confused, like, well, we're really confused why Saudi Arabia acted like this, right? It's like, because you especially over somebody who is not even a Canadian. If they had imprisoned a Canadian citizen in Saudi Arabia, then I'd be like, cool, yeah, say something about this. But while we have people in other countries right now that are facing prison times and all this shit that are Canadian citizens, but you're not saying anything. You just lost us billions of dollars with this. The government is still not lowering our tax rate, so we're not competitive with America. A lot more of our jobs are going to be going down south, and people are telling the liberals this: we need to lower the tax rate to stay competitive, but they're refusing to do it. They're like, oh, we'll get it some other way. But it's like, no, I don't know, they're trying to run our economy into the ground.